Hello, welcome to the Ask a Christian podcast. I'm your host, Nate. All right, so today, there's some fun stuff to talk to. We've got this guy, Dearborn Mosque, talks about, says America worships Satan. Well, if you're in a country that worships the devil, I guess, does that mean you do too? Maybe if you really believe that, you shouldn't be here, or you don't really believe that. Also, we've got more infuriating atheist videos like God made hell, God's evil. So we've got a little bit of that. It's an old but good clip. Let's see what else. Dan Crenshaw apparently lost his seat last night. He got primaried by Steve Toth. I don't know who Steve Toth is really, but can't be worse than Crenshaw. So sorry, not sorry, Crenny, pirate. Let's see. We've got some fun Holy Note videos, and we've got International Women's Day is going to be carried out by men in dresses. So that's some of the fun things we have and more today. If you didn't hear yesterday, I talked to Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. He does like marriage seminars and counseling and stuff. So if your marriage is in the toilet, like apparently every single person I know, not really if you're someone who I know and your marriage is great. I don't know anything you don't know. I don't have insider baseball. I'm sure you're fine. But so many people, marriage is just in the toilet. So maybe watch that podcast, watch that episode with him. And you can find it at askachristianpodcast.com. You can get the links to everything else. And I guess check out some of his tips and maybe turn that frown upside down, marriagerial speaking. Anyway, okay, let's share some videos. Let's get to this. Hang on, I'm already here. Let me just talk about this first. So, Dearborn Mosque holds memorial for Martyr, quote, Ayatollah Khamenei accuses U.S. of worshiping Satan. If I was somewhere and I really believed the place I was worshipped the devil, I think it would be incumbent upon me to move. Unless I'm lying and didn't believe that. Okay, let's see what he says. So this dude, bad posture. Look, as someone who's got bad posture, I can say this. You can only say it if you have it, right? So I have bad posture. Sit up straight, breathe, level your shoulders. I need to talk to this guy. Look, man, sit up straight, stop slouching. Set up like someone who's giving a speech that really believes with conviction that the United States worships the devil. Otherwise, if you slouch, people may not believe you. But that doesn't go both ways. If I slouch, everything I say is true, so it's fine. Okay. Did I say like, share, and subscribe? Go ahead and do that real fast. Do it. Do it now. Do it. A prominent Shiite organization in Dearborn, Michigan held a memorial for the late Iranian supreme leader over the weekend, honoring his martyrdom while accusing Americans of being led by Satan. We're gathered here today for this unholy marriage. Wait, no. We're gathered here today to commemorate the martyrdom of the great leader of our time. He wasn't even that great. Like, what did he do? Like, yeah, he's like done a terrorism for like 50 years, but it's not like, someone who was great at that surely would have done more. It was bad. He killed a lot of people. But I don't know if that earns the status of great terrorist or martyr or whatever this guy thinks is good. But it's not like great. Like in 50 years, someone who was great at terror could have probably done more. So probably like a C- maybe. Anyway, whatever. One of the held a memorial at the Wahhadi Institute. A day after Israel and U.S. forces executed Khamenei on top of other Iranian blah, 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 blah. Footage from the service went viral after being shared by by the nonprofit Middle East Research Institute. Someone look into them. Dearborn Shiite Mosque Memorial. The country is built by devil worshippers. The Statue of Liberty is Lucifer. The leftists may have something to say about that. They have actual statues of all the Lucifer type things. The Statue of Liberty is not one of them. And even if it was, blame France. Okay, so the Statue of Liberty is Lucifer. Khamenei was the great leader of our time, received martyrdom after 86 years of jihad. So he started jihading at birth? I don't know about that. Let's see. Salami, a poet and a lawyer, went on to recite poetry accusing... They have poems about U.S. devil worship. That's cute. Went on to recite poetry accusing the U.S. of being built by devil worshippers on stolen land. Okay. Not talking about when, like, they imported these people to Iran and took over Persia with a bunch of imports. Is that stolen land? It's okay when you do it. Being controlled by devil-worshipping Freemasons. Well, they may have some point about the Freemasons, but it wasn't built by... Okay, well, maybe some of the structures were built by Masons. But ideologically, spiritually, it was not built by Freemasons. Some of the people happen to be Freemasons, but I think you see the spirituality and ideology are vastly overwhelming Protestant Christian, with references to Masonic, one-eyed devil on the dollar bill. Yeah, sure, great. Okay, he also mentioned the so-called Epstein class and explicitly called the Statue of Liberty Lucifer. Look, man, as bad as Epstein list was, and it seems like, I mean, it's like, how much worse can it be? They're sacrificing babies and eating their brains for the devil. But then, what are you guys doing? You can call it different things, but I mean, how different is it really? We might think this attack was led by Zionist Jews, but the commander of their mission is the very one who is trying to prove that Adam is not worth prostrating to. Satan is the one behind the scenes. Okay, so the devil is the one leading everyone into all this. So what is it Jesus says? Say if a kingdom at war with itself cannot stand, so Satan fights Satan, his kingdom won't stand. What are the attributes of Satan? Or jinn, as they may. Which, by the way, why isn't he calling it jinn? Is he just, like, switching it to Satan for our understanding, for our benefit? Because it's jinn, right? Is the tempter is, like, the Satan version in Islam. So, what are the qualities of, I think even a jinn in Islam, which is their devil, I believe, it's like a trickster, like, bad. He's a bad guy, right? He's bad. But if you want to talk about Satan in Christian English terms, well, then you get that idea from the Bible. So what are the attributes of the devil? He's a prowler who goes around like a roaring lion seeking who he can devour. Like, he lies, he cheats, he steals when he lies. This is his native tongue. This is his native language. He got shot out of heaven like a lightning bolt with him and all of his devil demon followers. So this is not a bad guy. This is a bad guy. Those are the attributes that we get of Satan from the Bible. So then what does this guy, who he called a great martyr and leader and all this stuff, do? Well, for longer than I've been alive, he has killed a bunch of, and funded proxies and all this other stuff, killed a bunch of people who are like, look, we want to do something that's remotely noble, right? So we want to prevent you from having the ability to murder tons of people that are innocent. How do you know they're innocent? Well, the working definition of innocent is, look, people that don't want to fight, they just want to be left alone and not be bothered. That's our working definition. So when you take a bunch of people and you no, we're going to bother you. Convert or die. Or you know what? Just die anyway. Well, that is evil. That's the kind of stuff that slides right up under Satan's demonic arm. So Satan wants to kill and steal and lie and cheat from people who follow God, who want to be left alone and just worship their God and, simply share the gospel. That's Satan's target. That's also this guy's target. So you could call him great leader all you want and freedom fighter or whatever other stuff you're saying, but his attributes are the same as the devil, the actual devil. So there you go. That was a long logic... I can't talk. That was a little bit of a long logic walk, but it adds up. So, all right, that's enough on this guy. So, this dude says some crazy stuff. Great, let's move on. Want to hear some more crazy stuff? Here's the old one good one. I go to YouTube and I type in atheist. That's all I did. You can see it there. I type in atheist. And all these videos come up. And the one we showed, like, I didn't even look for a unique one because there's so many of this. It's like, God made hell, he's evil. And that's the one we just talked about like 3 days ago, right? With some other people being interviewed, and they're like, God made hell, God's evil. Oh, I'm an atheist. He doesn't exist, but if he did, he's evil. And here's one you can tell it's like 480p quality. This is Dillahunty, right? Matt Dillahunty. Listen to this. They're so smug. Like, when you fail this much, stop being smug. How do you know you failed? Read the Bible. Like, if you're going to attack Christian theology and the Christian belief system, you should know a little bit about it, because everything you say here is directly addressed in a basic, like, 101 Christian understanding. So you could come up with some doozies for Christian and make them look dumb. If you find a Christian that's off their game, you can lord some certain stuff over them. But this is not one. So it's like you're so smug in your ignorance, and you don't even know it. Anyway, so it's the same thing. Like, you just scroll down. I'm like, can an atheist please have a problem about something else? Nope. God made hell. God's evil.
Did your God create hell? Yes or no?
She said yes.
Yes.
Okay. Does your God create the rules of the universe, including the criteria by which souls are judged?
Yes.
Does anything happen that doesn't go according to your God's will?
No.
Then your God is ultimately responsible for everything, including the people who he sends to hell.
That is so messed up. I mean,
Yeah, that logic stuff, it's a real pain in the ass, isn't it?
It is messed.
Oh, the logic stuff is such a pain. Well, it's illogical. Like, what you think is fine. Like, if we didn't have a Bible to tell us stuff and we had no idea, it's like, oh, that makes sense. I guess I'm an atheist now. You can still claim you're an atheist. Doesn't matter. I mean, if God exists or not, you can claim you're an atheist. If God is real, God is real. You're just blinded. So, what was the first thing? I don't remember. Mark, if you or Greg want to talk, just raise your hand. But so he's like, yeah, God made everything. God made hell. God created hell. What does the Bible say? The hell was created for the devil and his angels. Are you a devil? Well, I mean, some people may have some devils living inside of them, but no, we're mortals. We're people. We're from the dust. So hell was created for the devil and his angels. Who goes to hell? Well, you can quibble about terminology. God is ultimately in control of everything. The Bible says Jesus is the one that sustains everything in existence. So, if something exists, it is sustained and controlled and created by God. Molecules, atoms, particles, people, hell, places. So, yes, it is created and sustained in existence by God. If God didn't sustain it, that thing wouldn't exist. So, God sustains hell because it was made for the devil and his demons. So, who goes to hell? Well, read the Bible. People go to hell, and you can say, well, God doesn't put people in hell. People put themselves in hell. Well, people couldn't put themselves in hell if God didn't create that ability for them to exist in hell. So, yes, but ultimately, why is this? This is people who ultimately trample and reject the blood of Christ and the sacrifice of Christ instead of recognizing the obvious. The bar is incredibly low. The bar is repent and believe the gospel of the God that obviously exists. This is the obvious answer. Like, it's not obvious to me. Dude, you're like, I can't see it. You put your faith and trust in all kinds of stuff you can't see, like electromagnetic crap, carbon-14 dating. Oh, we can talk about that in a little bit. My kid got the talk in biology class the other day. You put your faith in all kinds of nonsense that you cannot see. You can't hear, you can't smell. But the idea that a God that created everything, that's crazy. You need to see that. So their logic falls apart at basic Christian theology. So, yes, God makes everything. God made hell. God made hell for demons. Who ends up in hell? People that reject Jesus Christ, who are effectively, there is no neutral. You're either, yes, thank you, Jesus, for saving me. I believe you. I will follow you. Thank you, God. That's the obvious answer. Look around. Or, by not doing that, you are essentially signing up with the demons of hell. And you're like, Satan, I want to be your servant forever and fight against God. And they're like, I didn't sign up for that. There is no God. No, you're signing up for that. It doesn't need your consent. Or it's getting your spiritual consent that you just blind yourself to and deny. So that is what you're doing. You're signing up for that, even if you've self-deceived yourself on one level to tell yourself it doesn't exist or it's not true. By rejecting Jesus Christ, that is what you're doing. So at the end of the day, what you can say is, an accurate atheist criticism of Christians is, well, if hell's true and people go to hell, then I don't like your God, assuming he exists, because universalism isn't just true and he forgives all the bad people and all the devils, and I just think everyone should always have the perfect existence at all times. That would be a valid criticism, I mean, from their perspective. So you can just say you don't like the way God did things, but don't act like it's a logic trap. And then the Christian response would be like, okay, well, God might makes the way things are. They're like, might doesn't make right. I'm like, I didn't. First of all, God is right. He's called righteous. So the only way you know to pick apart the Christian God is what you get from the Bible. So if you're going to take the parts of the Bible to make your case against the Christian God, you have to take all the other parts of the Bible as if it's also true. That's where you're getting all your polemics from, is our Bible. So our Bible also makes the claim God is righteous. So whatever is the right answer, he will do. If you think little babies going to hell is wrong, if that's the right answer, then all the little babies that get aborted from people like you will be in heaven. And that would be the right answer. So congratulations, you agree with God. If an evil person is evil and ends up in hell, if you think, oh, they should all just be forgiven because love, whatever that means, and they go to hell, well, then you're wrong. Because the right answer is what God says. So, anyway, I'm explaining things way too long. Hey, Mark, hey, keep wanting to say Sean, Greg. Come on up if you guys want to help me out. Brevity is supposed to be our friend. Okay, we've done the Dearborn guy. Let's see, what else? Crenshaw.
I can rage bait Mark a little bit. Like the Dillahunty criticism there is aimed at non-Calvinists because there is no answer from the non-Calvinist to that objection. And so Frank Turek has tried it, all the non-Calvinists have tried it, and they all fail. And the reason that Dillahunty and atheists use that objection is that unless you believe in Calvinism, you do not have an answer to that objection.
Sorry. Say that again. I accidentally made this guy speak again. Unless you, what? What was the last thing you said?
I'm just rage baiting Mark a little bit. So unless you are actually an adherent to Calvinism and believe in God's sovereignty and the reason that he does things is for his own glory, then you have no answer to Dillahunty and the atheist. Your theology will fail, and he knows it, and it fails logically. And Frank Turek got caught in this trap by an atheist he was debating and didn't realize it and lost the debate over it.
How was what I said? Is what I said, is that acceptable to you?
It would fail. I mean, if you explicated it out far enough, it would end up failing logically. But
well, I didn't do
it's
that,
okay.
Chris, because I'm the Calvinist.
Oh, I know, because you're not debating Dillahunty. But like the whole point though is that unless you're willing to bite the bullet, that yes, God is ultimately responsible for all. Which I think you did bite that bullet. That God is ultimately responsible for all things. What do you mean by responsible, Matt Dillahunty? Like, what does that mean? Then you're gonna flounder, and so that's why anti-Calvinists or non-Calvinists can't answer that question. And most of the people they're debating are non-Calvinists, and they know it. They also will give you the old trope: can God fail? Well, then why is it that everybody doesn't get to go to heaven because God failed?
Well, he also wasn't debating this woman. He was like railroading her with like getting her to be like, yes, yes, yes. Oh, that's But no, I mean, that's where I was like brushing up against your compatibilism because like we don't need to give like, I don't want to say don't give proper answers, but I mean, we don't need to give like super nuanced, correct details against people like this because they're not going to care, they're not going to understand, and it's going to take longer than they're willing to listen. They're just going to cut you off anyway. So it's like give the Cliff Notes, which is like, well, look, God has to sustain everything or it doesn't exist. You're like, so it's God's fault. God does it, everything. Well, sure. Then he's evil if he exists. But that's not taking into account your compatibilism stuff, which is about as far as I can go, which is still fine. Because it's like people put themselves in hell, not God. But you said God controls everything. Well, yes. So God puts people in hell. So you can, both things are true. People put themselves in hell because God puts them in hell. Why does God put them in hell? Because they reject him. Why do they reject him? Even from your Calvinist understanding, it's not like if they were left to their own devices, they'd be like, Jesus, please save me. And he'll be like, no, I command you to die and be evil. Like, according to your own understanding, they would be like, let me just go kill some innocent people. Let me go kill some innocent people. I want to kill people. And God's like, go kill people. Is that God's fault? Or is that your own fault? So if you were able to remove God from the equation, you can't really do that. Universe would break and we'd all die. But if you were, they would still be evil. So that's like them being able to have their cake and not understand the theological implications, where they're like, see, God is evil. God did this. And also they don't understand the evil. Like, is it evil to put someone in hell or is it justice? So there's just so many different things. There's so many different things to like tie up in that discussion. But again, you can never have it with this guy. I think I talked to him a long time ago, or at least I was on a panel he was on or something. But okay, let's. What else we got?
Did you ever see the Andrew Wilson bit where he was going to debate Matt Dillahunty, and he immediately was like, talking about his quote unquote girlfriend, which is just a tranny. And like,
wait, whose girlfriend?
Matt Dillahunty.
No.
Oh yeah, totally.
No.
Yeah. Oh, you've never seen that? Actual
no.
It's hilarious. You got to go find it. Go find it right now.
So Dillahunty has or
did have at some point. I don't know.
trans person significant other? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And so, yeah, just go find Andrew Wilson, Matt Dillahunty. And it's only like a 30-second clip. You could play it here, and it's hilarious. It was kind of how, Andrew Wilson is sort of the ortho bro, debate bro guy. He's the debate me guy. He always shows up on that stupid whatever podcast and is debating like OnlyFans girls because he is low tier. You know who I'm talking about? He's got the beard.
No, but how? I'm looking for Dillahunty's girlfriend. Like, I can't believe that.
Bro, just go. No, don't look for that. Go look for the actual debate clip because it's only like 30 seconds. You could play it on here, and it's legendary because like Dillahunty rage quits the debate.
But we don't get to see a picture
instantly.
of this. Okay, can someone please find a picture of this girl, guy, whatever? Okay, so Matt Dillahunty versus Andrew Wilson?
Uh-huh. It's like famously famous.
How am I going to find the right 30-second clip?
It's the whole thing only lasts like 30 seconds because he rage quits and storms out.
Okay, ends abruptly. Okay, so I think I have it.
Yep.
This is not.
There may be some coarse language. I don't remember.
This is a minute long. Hang on, before I show this, I have to see.
It's well worth a minute. Go watch it first because there may be some coarse language. I don't remember.
I mean, I wanna get all my ducks in a row here. If they have a trans girlfriend, do we know the name? Like, I just want to see the picture of this person.
No, I have no idea who the person's name is.
You can't bring me something like that and not.
Well, why do you care what it looks like? Like, what
why
difference
do you
does
not?
it make?
Because this guy is like just ran like, oh, my logic is so impeccable and so great. You Christians are so dumb. I'm dating a dude. Like this is just like no one needs to talk to this guy again. Be like, how's that logic going, bro? like your logic is broken. Like, I'm not gonna say this is so illogical. Everyone should just like take that reason for repenting and believe the gospel. But they'd be much better off if they did. Like that is.
I can't believe you're obsessing on this part of it. That's
How
funny.
are you not? Like God is illogical. God is illogical. Christians are so dumb and ignorant. My girlfriend has a lady penis. Like, just say you're gay, dude. I'm not gay. I'm straight. So my girlfriend has a. Okay, fine. Let's just watch this video. If someone could please find this, I want to know his significant other. I just want to see the face. I'm just curious. Like, what kind of girlfriend can Dillahunty catch with his personality and his amazing logic? I'm just curious. Okay, fine.
This is not remotely an honest interaction on the front of whether or not secular humanism is valuable. I came in with positions that aren't that aren't merely my positions.
Oh, well, as long as multiple people hold the position,
this guy's not serious, and I'm leaving. James, if you want a refund, you let me know.
Good day, sir. And I'll cover your refund, Mr. Matt.
He just said he'd cover my refund.
I would cover his refund.
See, this isn't even the right one, Chris. How many of these end abruptly?
Nope.
Yeah, no, you got to look up the. Yeah, that's not the right one.
No, I'm not going to.
Hold on, give me a minute. I'll find it.
Oh my God.
Go on to something else. I'm taking my father-in-law to daycare, so I'm gonna need a minute.
That was longer than 9 minutes. All right, we've got another. Turns out there's we can just watch Dillahunty shorts short videos. We can watch these shorts all day because there's like tons of him rage quitting. It's kind of like Hillary Clinton in her deposition. You're great. You guys are great. Okay. Here's another rage quit. Let's see if this is the right one.
I don't get you. Take it up with James. Let me finish talking.
Yeah, but you're misrepresenting me.
Shut the up. I'm talking.
You shut up. You shut up. You're talking about me.
Shut up, Howard. I'm talking.
We'll let you respond.
You interrupt me all the time.
This debate is over. It is irresponsible to put you on the air anywhere to have discussions like this. This debate was supposed to be about evidence for God, and you gave 3 specific talking points, and now you're saying you didn't have time to prepare for the devil, you didn't want to, but you've talked about Dracula and Freemasons and secret societies and Order of the Dragon and New World Order, the United Nations. This is bat crazy conspiracy theory.
Who cares?
Stuff.
Your girlfriend has a
penis.
penis.
James feels like paying me for this debate or not, but I'm done. I'm logging off. This debate is over. Nobody should pay any attention to you. You need to seek help. Goodbye.
I have such crushing ways to defeat the Christian God. I will only show you if you pay me.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Let's try
So there's
again.
tons of photos. So
they say the answer is yes. And the way we will decree they can be a woman is by simply saying that woman now means male.
Matt Dillahunty was the president of the Atheist Society, whatever that is. So he begins by claiming, with your worldview, you cannot make truth claims. And because you can't make truth claims, you're able to sell lies.
Why, you ask, would people be this over the top stupid? Well, it's simple. The good is the good, man. We have to do what's good for human society and human flourishing. And if you don't call these deranged lunatics something they obviously aren't.
And right there is the moment that Matt is using as the excuse for bailing.
Okay, Guy, are you going to keep
This is
to the question of if a man could be a woman, they say the answer is yes. And the way we will decree they can be a woman is by simply saying that woman now means male.
Matt Dillahunty was the president.
Oh my gosh, the clip cut off. Chris, can you please find this? You're dead to me until you do. Like, how can you drop a gem like this and then...
you're like making me do this on the spot while I'm having to take people places, and just, you're going to have to give me like 5 minutes and just go on something else. I know that I know that your ADHD is focused in. You are like locked in on this. But if you want me to do stuff for you, you're going to have to give me time to do it.
Well, if I could command you to do stuff for me, it would be far, far more valuable than this. Secondly, to be like, hey guys, this super important thing is happening right now. It's like, oh, don't let your ADHD get you in the way. It's like, it doesn't have anything to do with that. It's incredibly interesting what you just said. How are you going to leave it on a cliffhanger? Like, guys, I'm ready for season 2. Season 2 got canceled. Oh, that's just your ADHD. No, because season 1 ended on a cliffhanger. Everyone is really interested. Even people without diagnosable psychiatric disorders. You jerk. Go away.
Yeah, just give it.
International Women's Day is held by Matt Dillahunty's girlfriend. What? I don't know about that. Oh, I misread. Okay. International Women's Day to be held by men. Let me copy this headline. Doop-a-doop-doo. Just saying, Mark and Greg, you guys could have also helped as well.
All right. Now, here, I do have a lead for you. If you do want to see this person, the name is Arden Hart.
Wait, that is his name? I saw that name a minute ago.
Yeah. That's Dillahunty's partner's name.
Okay, we're going to have to visit this back in a minute. Okay, so let's do it international.
ARDENHRHART.
Yeah, I saw those videos days.
Right. Yeah, that's the Fisher fowl.
Okay, I'll find that whenever you can, your lordship. Just find that clip so we can play it. Okay, so International Women's Day event to be hosted by dudes. It's got the scene where they're is that Goodfellas? No, is that Marty McFly? I don't know. It's Ma'am. This is not a parody, apparently. International Women's Day for and by trans women is happening this Saturday. A full day workshops. Can the trans ladies please be grammatically correct? A full day's workshop. Is that correct? Like a workshop that happens a full day is a full... Anyways, maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong about that, maybe I'm wrong about lady members, whatever. A full day workshops. I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong on that. That's wrong. Discussion and community activities, led and supported by trans women. Tickets are available via Humanitics below or in bio, and ticket sales close Wednesday. Don't miss out, guys. Don't miss out on this. Chris, have your car self-drive you to this event, wherever it is. Hell, I don't know. They're not they're not revealing the location. It's an interdimensional door to the abyss. They're not revealing the location of this event, and the only reason I can think for that is a bunch of based Aussies. Oh, it's going to be in Australia. Don't show up and make even more of a fool out of these men than they're already set to make. The ICLC is partnering with Women NSW and UTS to present International Women's Day for and by trans women. The event will feature panel discussions. Okay. Oh, this is so good. Can someone please give a question about Jesus so that we can get back on track? Okay. I just see this one thing. So, intro to vocal coaching. This is such a big thing in some of the trans people I've known. And they were so obsessed with getting their voice just right, and they do vocal coaching. So, except no matter how much vocal coaching they do, the voice is always like this. It's always like this, Chris. And you're like, hey, what's wrong with your voice? And it's like, dude, I think you're a dude. Are you a man? Were you born as a woman? They're like, I'm a woman. I'm a ma'am. How can you tell? How can he see me? It's like grandma's boy. That's kind of my gremlin voice, but it's kind of like that. They have this like kind of rasp underneath. Like, basically all of them. There's probably some that don't, but like that's how it all sounds. Like, I'm in my stealth mode. No one can understand. I have my wig, and like, how do they know I'm not a woman? And it's like, do you think your voice is? You sound like a demon. You sound like a raspy demon. Like, you don't sound like a man or a woman. Anyway, so there's vocal coaching, so that's good to know. Confidence in embodiment. Sure. I also love the names. Like, what is it about this culture? This is like the first sauna without being a furry. This is like trans sauna, woman sauna, like their persona, because it's always used these weird names. I don't know anyone that's like named like, I don't know, Timothy Jones, and then they turn into a trans person and it'll be like Timothy Jones or just some weird thing. It won't be like Tammy Jones, or if it's Tammy Jones, it'll be like Tammy with like Tammi or something like that. That's just weird. I'm like, why can't you just go from like Timothy Jones to, I don't know, Tammy Jones, traditional spelling? It's like, no, you've got to make a statement. You got to like make some kind of statement so people will always wonder and be like, oh, that's a unique spelling. What else is unique about this person? Well, they sound like a horse gremlin. What else is, oh, the Adam's apple's unique about them? Well, they're 6 inches taller than me. What? I think they could kick my butt in a fight. I better be nice to them, but there's a lot of unique stuff going on. You know what? I think I figured it out. Protest as a mechanism to secure justice. Keynote and locknote presentations. Trans rights. Yeah. The names. With Jasmine Vine, Sky Pays, and Tashinga Emmanuel. That's a nice touch. Women at the forefront of trans rights in Australia discuss their experience and legal system, blah, blah, blah. Trans rights now. Jackie Turner. Okay. Maybe that's okay. That's kind of a normal name, I guess. Trans Justice Project discusses trans rights and the future of trans relation, includes closing addresses by Sister Girl from somewhere Calamari country. Community legal education. So, your boss sucks. Learn all about workplace discrimination and your rights. Being you. Changing ID. Learn about changing name and gender markers in NSW. Takedowns. Learn how to get photos and other information taken off the internet. So, this is like not even like trans people doing a Women's Day event remotely related to women. It's just like, hey, ladies, actual ladies, step aside. Or we're going to crush your skull like we did in the volleyball matches or the UFC events. Because we're men and we can beat you. If you're a woman with an Adam's apple and you'd like to learn all of these things, please join them at the unannounced location. I did not think this was going to be how my day went. Oh, Chris, did you find it? Is that it? Oh, thank you, Lord, thank you. Okay, let's move the heck on from this. All right. So, hang on. Let's go back to you. Chris, are you speaking? Is this a thing? I can play this here?
Yeah, so it's so I just put it in there. That's the full debate, the actual bit. So there's like 21 minutes of like rage bait lead up to this point. This is the point at which where Matt Dillahunty just rage quits. And that's at 21:45. So you can go there, or you can watch a little bit of the pregame of it where Andrew Wilson is basically like questioning him on like, how can you know truth if your significant other is a dude, and you're saying it's a man.
And is that what we're about to watch? Or
it's just, well, it's where it's the rage quit is what it is queued up at 21:45. That's the funniest part of it.
Okay, so here we go, I guess. Oh, is it not queued up? Oh my gosh.
Bro, I gave it to you on a platter with a time code and everything.
You gave it to me in a Discord window. I think that's messing up the stuff here. Let me just put it in a different window.
Oh, all right. I can text it to you.
Nah, I got it. Okay, so I've got it here. So at 21:45 is the rage quit.
Apparently, according to Grok.
I want the part about like how can you know truth if your chick is a dude? All right, let's see what we get. So this is this 21 minutes. All right.
I'll have sex and have fun, bro. That sounds way worse for human flourishing. In fact, I would say not reproducing is a worst possible thing for human flourishing, because if there's no humans, how do you flourish? So I guess, in essence, step 1, I remain unconvinced. Step 2, I need to be convinced, so I am no longer unconvinced. And step 3, but God not real dough doesn't matter here. I've already granted it to still demonstrate just how stupid this ideology actually is. With that, I'll yield my time, and I'm happy to get into it.
Hey, James, I just sent you a message.
All right. We are going to kick it into an open discussion, so 50 minutes, and let's kick it.
No, I don't think so. I'm not going to sit here and dignify the preparation that I went through and what people were here for.
You're so indignant.
Keep interrupting me.
I am.
Okay.
You're so indignant.
Would the moderator like to step in so that I can finish what I'm saying?
Please, Matt. Please. How dare someone have an opposing worldview?
I'm not going to sit here and dignify what was supposed to be a debate about Christianity versus secular humanism, which one's better for the world.
Yes.
With someone who clearly showed up with an agenda that has nothing to do with that. Someone who refers to trans people as deranged lunatics who will self-terminate if you dare to question them.
How am I wrong, Matt?
Someone who misrepresents a quote from a debate where I said I wouldn't make a law about 9-year-olds having sex being legal with respect to the 9-year-olds, not that I was in any way in favor of it and that I was actually opposed to it, which I addressed during that debate. But moreover, this is not remotely an honest interaction on the front of whether or not secular humanism is valuable. Because this, when he presented his position here, has nothing to do with secular humanism. From the get-go, it's all about me. Matt thinks, Matt thinks, Matt thinks. I'm giving what Matt thinks, what Matt thinks, what Matt thinks, what Matt thinks.
Matt's position.
I came in with the Secular Humanist Manifesto. I came in with positions that aren't merely my positions.
Oh, well, as long as multiple people hold the position, it
this
makes it valid.
guy's not serious, and I'm leaving. James, if you want a refund, you
well,
let me know.
good day, sir.
Oh,
and I'll cover your refund, Mr. Matt.
That is the one we saw earlier. Wait, does it go?
Matt, he just said he'd cover my refund.
I would cover his refund.
No. Nope. Nope. No, I'm not going to dignify a debate with someone who walked in to trash talk people and be smug and all of the things that he's being right now. He's already said he will cover my expenses. You don't have anything to worry about. This debate is over. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Jackass. It still goes on. So does this guy answer questions himself?
Did you call me a jackass, Matt? Well, you and your husband have a good day, man. Have a wonderful day, Matt. Yeah. Yeah.
Are they married?
No, that was fine. I mean, if you're going to take a parting shot, I will too, Matt. Yeah.
The thing is, my parting shot's correct.
No, your parting shot's correct? Oh, man, tough crowd. Tough crowd.
Not going to have a headline debate, so I am sorry about that. And we do appreciate you coming.
And this still goes on, so maybe they answer some questions.
No, you guys got to cover your own costs. Sorry.
So I agree that what Andrew said wasn't helpful in that. Well, hold on. Just let me actually talk. Is like I'm already addressing it, so you want to interrupt me still? Really?
Okay, that's enough. So, yeah, is there a debate this guy's actually finished? Like, all we've seen is like a panel full. There's like tons of like short clips, and the reason they're short is because he rage quits in all of them. So even the people in chat say this will be good as long as Dillahunty doesn't quit in 15 minutes. He made it about 22 minutes. Okay, So
well, but like that whole tour, that wasn't even like the opening statements. That was like just introduction, and then like, yeah, you watch the first 21 minutes. It's all just leading up to the debate. I think they got like 3 minutes into the debate when Dillahunty rage quits. It's freaking awesome.
I want to know if he's actually
married.
Holy
to it?
Goodness, this is some. Okay, look, I don't want to be the Mean Girls Christian edition, but I mean, now that we've pulled this thread, I want to bear this out. Okay, so he says husband. I want to know if he was truly married and who to, because apparently he's had some divorces or I don't know. We'll find out. So here is this. I'm taking Chris's word. So if anything is wrong, it's Chris's fault.
What?
So this is I don't know. You told me. So here's a short clip of this person, Arden Hart, and they're talking to Matt. So let's see what they, them.
Do you guys find anything wrong with the definition adult human female for woman?
The order is slightly problematic. Adult human female seems to suggest that female is the subject rather than a modifier to human, which is how I think a more appropriate arrangement of that definition would be an adult female human. You actually have to break down each of those individual words and find out what they mean. You can make arguments for how to define female from a population level observation, but when we're talking about individuals, those definitions, as they do for every definition, often fail, which is why definitions are descriptive of how words are used, not prescriptive of some like ontological.
Did you even hear what it said? I just heard like a bunch of just like I have no idea what they even said. I just tuned out and it's just like word salad, word salad, word salad. Okay, so here is this person, Arden Hart. Oh, with a snake on their shoulder. That's cute. Is there a wiki page that talks about the Sunday show? Okay, look, I'm not endorsing. Oh, Michael. Hey, Michael, welcome. I'm not endorsing the trans stuff, but I mean, look, if Dillahunty needs to find love, I mean, I guess if he's rejecting the God of the Bible anyway, maybe it's an okay match for him. I don't know. So, that's not an endorsement, but in Dillahunty's case, I mean, if you're rejecting God, that's your first problem. So I guess in the meantime, if you find love in the arms of Arden Hart, whatever. Michael, maybe you know this. We're trying to figure out if Dillahunty is married and who to. Like this one says someone named Beth Presswood from 2011 to 2018. So did the Arden Hart thing happen after that? I really don't care at all about this, Michael. But if you could just tie this up real fast so we can settle my curiosity and move the heck on, I'd appreciate that.
These are your people, Michael.
Michael, welcome, Michael. Long time no see. Hope all is well. Sorry you have to come into this conversation, but Chris made me do it.
Hey, long time no talk, guys. And yeah, it seems like as much as things change, they stay the same. So Matt was up here in Toronto a bunch of years ago. It was right after the Imagine No Religion 7 conference, which was in 2017, so it's quite a while ago. At that time, he was there with his wife of the time, Beth Presswood. She had her own. So he was, and I don't know if he still is on the Atheist Experience thing. I haven't followed them in a long time. Matt and I do not see eye to eye. I'm not a big fan of his, and he's not a fan of mine.
I'd like to hear
he was on our
about
podcast a bunch of years ago, and we had a falling out, but that doesn't matter. Anyway,
what over? Like a subject matter? Or personal?
No, not exactly.
It's not shocking since he rage quits on everybody else. So.
Well, yes, he does on many. Yeah. So anyway, he was here with his wife at the time, Beth Presswood, who had her own podcast called Godless Bitches.
And that was all anyway. 2018, right? Like a long time ago.
Yeah, 2017, 2018. Okay. Yeah. They did separate. I don't know if they are actually divorced. I don't know how divorce laws work in the U.S. In Canada, you have to be separated for 1 year before you can file for divorce. I just don't know what the... Yeah, you have to be separated for a year before you can file for divorce in Canada.
No, in America, you pay like $300 to a lawyer and get it done in an afternoon. And then go to Vegas and make another bad decision and marry someone else.
Yeah, even if you are... Even if like, let's say two people are married and they both 100% agree this was the bad idea, and they both sign off on stuff, yeah, you cannot. You must be legally separated for 1 year before you can file for divorce in Canada.
Wow. But can you get married in Canada by an Elvis impersonator?
Well, you can get married by anybody who is an officiant, right? Who has, basically, I could go online and take a little course thing and write a little exam thing, and I think in 3 weeks become a humanist officiant and marry people legally.
For the record, if anyone needs me to marry or bury them or a loved one, I can do that. I am ordained. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the same. It's the same kind of thing. So I don't know whether or not he is actually quote unquote divorced. I just don't know.
But do you know about this Arden Hart person?
Yeah. So Arden, my understanding is Arden is a trans woman, and I don't know much more about it than that. He got involved with her after he and I had a falling out. So, well, sorry, say that again.
In a romantic way, we're trying to figure out if this is his girlfriend or whatever. Like, are
my understanding is they live together. Yes.
Okay, so yes.
And I've heard that from other people that live in Texas that I trust.
Okay, so yeah, that was kind of the basis, was because, I mean, it may be what you would call like unfair or irrelevant or some sort of fallacy, but it's worth noting, if you are wrong, unless it's just a gimmick, you're like, look, I'm dating, it's a woman. No, it's not really. If you have brainwashed yourself to believe that biological sex, whatever his stance is, that trans women are real women, if you have glommed onto that, then all of your arguments against Christianity, or basically all of your arguments about anything, should be even more heavily scrutinized, because that's crazy. And if you legit believe that, how many other things potentially could you and probably are you wrong about, or at the very least need to seriously reconsider? That was kind of the whole point of this.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know whether I offered anything clarifying or not.
You did. As far as your understanding, they're apparently living together. I assume not as roommates.
I would assume that as well.
I wonder if he's rage quit debates more or less since they've been, I guess, perhaps living together. I wonder if they've calmed him down.
I don't know. The only, for the record, the only person that I ever saw him rage quit against was, if you can call him a human, Andrew Wilson.
Oh, we saw 3 today. We just watched short clips. I'm like, wow, why is YouTube like so full of Matt Dillahunty short clips? Because he rage quits in every one. Oh my lord.
Yeah. In fairness, within the and I think it's become less so, as kind of the community has, at least from my perspective, diversified. Part of the problem is that it's like when you have that old line, you shouldn't meet your heroes. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there have been, I have personally witnessed, and I'm not going to say names, so please don't ask me, but I have personally witnessed 2 incredibly high profile people within my quote unquote community behaving in an extremely inappropriate way. And these were people that I held to very high esteem. And so, it's like I'm forced to wonder sometimes, like the only person, so like within the quote unquote, the old 4 horsemen, the only one that I didn't meet was Daniel Dennett, but I met Sam Harris. I met Richard Dawkins. I didn't meet, I met Lawrence Krauss. He's been on the podcast. But I never met Christopher Hitchens. He was at an event in Toronto for there's a guy named Peter Monk, who's a very big philanthropist when it comes to like medicine and stuff like that. He's got a cardiac center at a major hospital named after him. He's a big deal. He's a billionaire. Anyway, he would hold these things called the Monk debates. And Tony Blair, the former Prime Minister of Great Britain, was in Toronto, and Christopher Hitchens did a debate with him. And it was in Toronto. I could not get there. It was just not possible. I had like other commitments, and I just couldn't get there. He died. Christopher Hitchens died the following year, and I was very upset that I missed that opportunity to meet him. But then you hear about these, things. You shouldn't meet your, shouldn't quote unquote meet your heroes because they can sometimes let you down. I wonder sometimes if that wasn't, a good thing. Although I've never heard anything negative ever be aired about any poor behaviors on Hitchens' part. But yeah, so I think that Matt has fallen a little out of favor as our community has diversified a little bit more. And I think that might be fair to say it's been because of his poor behavior in some of these instances. I'm not suggesting that people shouldn't stick to their guns, and if something happens that they find detestable, that they shouldn't stand up, hold to their convictions. But for example, in the one debate that I personally saw of him basically get out and walk out against that human feces known as Andrew Wilson,
I think that's Chris's hero.
I think that he should watch the little rage where Andrew Wilson gets his underoos in a bunch over being confronted about the escapades of his now wife. Anyway,
is Andrew Wilson is he a Christian, or does he just like talk smack to a bunch of hookers on?
Oh, he's a Christian nationalist. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, I think that was in very poor taste by Matt Dillahunty's part. Like basically, I think Andrew Wilson did it on purpose. I think he tried to poke the bear and it worked. And I don't think Matt looked as good as he thinks he looked. At least from, opinions are like noses, right? Everybody's got one. But I didn't think Matt looked particularly good in that instance. But that's it. But I only saw one. You guys may have watched other clips. I only ever saw the one.
Yeah, just for the record, I can't stand Andrew Wilson. I think he's a preening retard.
What was the thing on his wife?
He's terrible.
In 2024, Andrew married Rachel Wilson. She's a single mother of 3 and has been featured. Faced criticism.
Yeah, 3. Yeah. So she's got 3 different baby daddies.
Despite
previous. Yeah. So what happens is
kids,
that Andrew Wilson has tried to come across as this kind of holier than thou, propping himself up. He's also. I think one of the other reasons Chris doesn't like him is because he's EO. And yeah,
so he's not Christian.
Well, hey, a lot of people think that Mormons are Christians. Like, ask a Mormon, they're going to tell you that they're Christian, but it doesn't matter, right? So, so one of the things is he's very cautious, and he has said publicly that he won't engage in God debates because he hasn't, quote unquote, been through the teachings and stuff enough. He will stand on a public stage and tell people that they're wrong and, thinks he has this higher moral standard than they do. But when asked to actually defend the things he believes in, he cowers behind I'm not supposed to debate
Andrew
these
Wilson?
things yet. Yes.
Well, then how is he having a God debate with Dillahunty?
Because I think that debate was on morality, not on God itself.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that, but I believe it was on secular morality versus Christian morality. Anyway, so Andrew Wilson's wife has 3 different baby daddies, etc. And so this I guess this podcast that Andrew Wilson does called whatever or something like that he was on, there was a gay woman on there, and he was lambasting her, and then she laid into him and said, I don't know how how you're sitting up here feeling all high and mighty, when your wife now has 3 different baby daddies and you're thinking you have this incredibly high moral standard, whatever. And Andrew lost it. Like, he went off like he did a boo-boo in his diaper. It was hysterical to see this guy who she triggered him in the exact way he tries to trigger other people, and it was delicious.
Well, I obviously don't know anything about this, but I mean, if we're going future forward, right? So if he's like, no, this is bad, you all are nasty and shouldn't do this stuff, and then if he finds someone like that, well, maybe he's making an honest woman out of her, so she isn't like that anymore. I don't know. But okay, so real fast, a question about J-dubs. Someone brought this up, and I knew the right answer, but I didn't know why I knew the right answer. So I thought, I need to see Michael. Or I could have just used Google, but I didn't. So the 144,000, because this other atheist is like, J-dubs, and they're funny because they shouldn't want to witness to people because the 144,000 means they might not go to heaven. I'm like, well, no, I had to insert myself. I'm like, no. They believe the 144,000 is like a special thing. Like anyone that believes whatever they say you have to believe will go to heaven, so that could be millions and millions. But the 144,000, they're a special thing. It's not only 144,000 go to heaven. Can you explain that real fast?
Yeah, so this is a common misunderstanding that people have. So in the JW doctrine, the 144,000 is what's known as the remnant. And the remnant are a special class of people that, so the whole reason they call themselves Jehovah's Witnesses is because of the verse in, I think it's Revelation, where it says, a witness shall be made to all the inhabited nations, and then the end will come, which is why they go door to door. It's why they call themselves witnesses. And so the remnant are a special class of people that when Jesus comes back, one of the first things that happens is this 144,000, some of whom will have died throughout the course of history, will go to heaven, and they will become angels, and they will serve with God in heaven as angels. Then there's this mass.
Humans are going to judge angels from a Christian perspective, so that's like a downgrade for the witnesses. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, just said that's what they believe. And then there's this mass resurrection where everyone who has ever died is brought back to life. Doesn't matter whether you were cremated or blown to pieces by a roadside bomb, whatever, you are brought back in perfect bodily health. You are told the truth as they believe it, and then you make a choice as to whether or not you will either live this way or not. If not, you are simply blurped out of existence. Jehovah's Witnesses are annihilationists. There is no forever torture and torment. They view the verses of hell. They conflate that with the talk in the Old Testament about Gehenna, and they believe that there is no actual hell. That basically people just got this wrong. That Gehenna was just a place where they threw garbage in bodies sometimes, and that's where the brimstone and stuff came from. No eternal torture and torment. You were simply blurped out of existence forever. So funny story. Back when I was studying with Witnesses a million years ago, I went to one of and every year they have their worldwide conference. Many years ago, it was in Hamilton, Ontario. Hamilton's would be like Brooklyn to New York City. It's a suburb essentially. And I went to this assembly, right? And I met someone who was one of the anointed. I met someone who said, yes, I know that when I die, I will be an angel. And I guess my filter was broken that day. Not that it functions particularly well on most days. But I actually let out. I'm like, you realize how crazy that sounds, right? And he just looked at me like all the blood drained out of his face. His face went ghost white. And he just kind of turned and walked away from me. But yeah, that's what they believe. So it's a common misunderstanding that's the amount that goes to heaven, or the amount that are saved is not true.
So the right way to quickly explain it is no, they think 144,000 are angels. That's the reason why. I was thinking it was the 12 tribes, but I'm like, no, that's not the 12 tribes. So it's the angels. They think they're going to.
Oh no, but it is. But the reason why it's 144,000 is it's 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes.
Oh, okay, and then they will become angels. Okay.
Yes.
I was missing that angel piece. Do you know what they do with the lake of fire part? Because a lot of people that want to talk about annihilationism are like, oh, Gehenna and Sheol, and it just means grave. It just means waste dump. It just means this. I'm like, okay, but what about where Jesus talks about the lake of fire? How do you deal with that? Do you happen to know how they deal with that?
I remember asking about that, and that was largely just kind of
glossed over,
like it was like lake of fire and Gehenna were synonyms.
Oh, okay.
They looked at it as the same thing, and that it was a mistranslation because lake of fire doesn't appear in the New World Translation of the Holy Scriptures, which is the Bible they use.
The one they edited? Oh, interesting. Like how the Queen James Bible, like, it doesn't say anything about gay stuff because you took it out. The Our Bible doesn't say anything about lake of fire because you hit the delete button. Okay. I got one more thing that's been sitting here, and I want to get it off so I don't have to look at this guy's face anymore. But this will be quick for our Canadian friend, and then we'll move on. I was happy to learn today, just now, a little bit ago, Dan Crenshaw loses his primary. Ha 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 ha! Oh, you stink, Crenshaw. Okay, so a decorated combat veteran. See, there's a lot of good, brave men and women, but there's a lot of duds. So anyways, whatever he did if he did valiant service, good job. But it left him behind when he became a congressperson. Decorated combat veteran, four-term congressman, lost his seat Tuesday night when Texas voters in the 2nd Congressional District chose Steve Toth. I don't know anything about Steve Toth, but he can't be as bad as Crenshaw. Over-incumbent Crenshaw in the Republican Party. So let's see. With roughly 3/4 ballot tally, Toth held approximately 58% of the vote. Crenshaw, Navy SEAL, who lost his eye to an IED, blasted during held since 2019, way too long. Throughout the campaign, Toth framed his challenge as a question about ideological direction of the Republican Party, arguing that Crenshaw had not proven sufficient loyalty to the MAGA coalition. Amen. Crenshaw stood as the only incumbent Republican House member seeking re-election without an endorsement of President Trump, rightly so. Well, maybe there should have been some others. There definitely should have been some others. Declined to back the candidate in his race. He had broken multiple times with the president, including the results of the 2020 election. And my biggest beef with him is his Second Amendment stance. He has just, at every possible turn, done something, at least his opinion is like, down with the Second Amendment. No, we have to restrict it. So that's trash, and I'm glad he lost. And then just to check out Steve Toth, which it seems like they give everyone high marks. Even Crenshaw wasn't like awful in this thing, but whatever justthefactsvotesmart.org is. It says Steve Toth, 92 rating by NRA, endorsed by Texas Eagle Forum, whatever that is, endorsed by Texas Homeschool Coalition. That's probably good. Endorsed by Right to Life Committee. Let's see. It wants me to. Oh, well, that's all we can see, folks. I am not paying for this or not signing up for this. All right, so sorry, Crenshaw, not sorry. What else do we have? Chris, you have any thoughts about anything? Oh, I have to go soon.
What? No. I'm with you. So no, I always have thoughts. My one thought, Nate, that I'm starting to have right now is just staring at Dillahunty there. He looks a little bit like you.
Well, it looks like we've lost Chris, everyone. It looks like we've lost Chris, guys. I guess we'll see you tomorrow.
No.
So, in fairness, this is also a very old picture. This would have been, I think this is from a picture from the Atheist Experience
this video
many years ago. Yeah.
Very dated. Chris, my friend was trying to imagine what you look like. He's like, that Chris guy sounds like, I think he described it.
Like a Greek god, like an Adonis.
Well, you have
like
a beard
someone with a 12-pack, a 6-pack on the 6-pack. That's what I sound like.
You do have a beard that could be mistaken for one of Zeus.
This is true.
Let me see if I can find the description. No. He says, for some reason I picture this Chris guy to have a neck beard and be the type to say, actually.
That's probably not totally inaccurate.
Do you have a neck beard? I actually don't know. I just saw your beard.
No,
I didn't try to peer behind it.
I actually get, as pretentious as this sounds, I get straight razor shaves on my neck beard. So.
Oh, my
Michael,
Lord.
have you ever had a straight razor shave?
Yep, I have.
Yeah.
I also keep, I keep my beard very short.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still kind of like rounded, it's hard to describe, like around the jawline, but the neck is all totally clean shaven.
Well, like is it or is it not awesome to get a straight razor shave?
I can point you to a musical.
It is. The first time it happens, I
potential
think everybody's a little bit scared the first time they get it because it's like straight razor, throat bad.
They're thinking Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I typed in 2026 Dillahunty. This is apparently what he looks like now with a worse green screen. And I don't want to make fun of a guy's appearance, but it looks like some life has been sucked away from him. Like he was in that device from Princess Bride, the one that sucks years of life off when they're tortured in that device.
The kid
he's about a decade. He's about a decade older there. He also had he had a very serious cardiac event about 5 or 6 years ago. My understanding
now
is
you're making me feel bad.
And so he was he'll tell anybody that he's type 2 diabetic, and he had a pretty serious cardiac event. So his doctors basically said, "Hey, you got to lose a bunch of weight." The guy that he was talking to there is a guy named Justin, and his YouTube channel is called Deconstruction Zone. Justin's a crazy smart biblical guy, speaks ancient Hebrew. He's like he's like Josh Bowen, only he's more combative. Like he takes no prisoners. He's like, yeah, he's a good guy, but he's a lot more combative. Like he's damn near as smart as Josh, but with a lot less time for people that say silly things.
Sounds like I'd love that guy. Sounds like he and I would get along famously.
Maybe. Hey, Chris, another news. A couple weeks ago, I traded in my mid 2020 Intel. No, I'm not going to get rid of that. I didn't have it at 2020 anyway. But I traded in my mid 2020 27-inch iMac and got one of the brand new iMacs with the M4.
Oh. Yeah.
And it's when I did a benchmark for it. It made me sad. Like it's so much faster than my old iMac. It's ridiculous.
So is it safe to assume this is like the best iMac money can buy? Is this like top?
It's tiny. It's not that much thicker. It's not that much. It's not that much thicker than an iPad.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's amazing piece of hardware.
It's beautiful.
Someone tell me the price.
Did you? So Nate, this should be interesting to you. Just a very fast tech aside. The new M5 chips just got released, and now people are talking about that Apple may actually dominate the AI space. And Nvidia's stock dropped significantly. And I have a lot of Nvidia stock. Yeah, so like Apple is attempting to position themselves as the AI computer for the next 5 years.
How's your AI computer going, Michael? In Canadian dollars, how expensive was this? I mean, I don't want, if you're humbled by the price, don't tell us.
No, in Canadian dollars, it was $2,500.
Oh, well, what's that in American dollars?
Little less than 2,000. I know.
Yeah, Canada calls their dollars.
But wait. You just said that was like the best iMac thing you could buy right now. Wouldn't that be like $5,000 or $6,000?
No, I mean it's the top of the line model. I don't know what actual RAM and all the other options you got. That's certainly not.
So it's the M4 chip. It's got it comes standard with 16 gigs of RAM. I got a terabyte SSD. Okay. Like it doesn't have a dedicated video card, but its chipset has a 16 core GPU built into it. So I mean it's fine for whatever I use it. Like I don't game on this thing. So it's fine for running like any Adobe suite you can think of, like for Illustrator and stuff like that. It can crunch 4K video. Like it's fine to do any of those types of things, which is all I need it for.
Chris, how's your Butler robot going?
So I'm learning valuable lessons. So Michael, just to bring you up to speed, have you heard of OpenClaw yet? Has this crossed your path in news?
No, I have no idea what that is. Is it like is it like a successor to OpenGL?
No, so OpenClaw is a local AI that you run on a Mac, and it basically automates personal tasks for you. So think of like how Iron Man, if you've ever seen those movies, has Jarvis that he can talk to, and Jarvis will do things for him, not just chat with him. It'll be like, all right, I'm, arming the missiles and I'm ordering dinner and like whatever, like what Jarvis does. It is that. So it is a brand new open source, what they call an AI agent that lives on your local computer as opposed to the cloud, and processes things like it can process your email for you. Because again, it's local, it's not going out to the cloud, so you're not leaking your information to some AI provider. Okay. Well, it can be hybrid.
So then I guess it could tie into like any type of home automation. You have like, hey, turn up, turn the heat up 2 degrees or something like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. But like, so for instance, what OpenClaw could do for you, and I could help you build this, like what it could do for you running on your Mac is it could actually gather the top 4 stories in atheism for you every day and give you an intelligence report from the web. It can then digest that into something that you could use for your podcast and start making your notes for you. It would then be able to go out, send emails, receive them, process them for future guests. So like, because a lot of the people I'm sure you talk to, you have to go through a layer of people before you go talk to the individual person. So it would do that sort of thing for you before you send personal emails to, whomever you're going to have on the podcast.
And it will also give all of your bank account information from your computer to Chris, who helps you set it up.
It could, but anyway, so I'm just giving you some examples. Like it would be able to edit your podcast for you.
You guys can keep talking as long as you want, but I have limited time. I wanted to hear what you had to complain about the AI in book writing and stuff, because I'm experiencing this myself. Before I go, I wanted to hear what you had to say about that.
Yeah, I don't want to. We just got Michael back. I don't want to disappoint him the first day.
Okay,
but
fine. We'll leave it for another day.
I'll talk about it. It's fine. So, Michael, what happened a few days ago is that a friend of ours that we know from Clubhouse has ostensibly claimed to have written a book, and he gave me a free copy of it, which was very gracious, and wanted me to, run through it and tell him what I thought. Well, he wouldn't give it to me as a PDF, which was an immediate red flag. Like, no, just send me the PDF that of your final draft. Which, you've written stuff, man, right? It'd be real easy for you to just take your Word document, dump it as a PDF, and send me an email. Correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
It'd take like 10 seconds, right? So, it was immediately suspicious that I couldn't get a PDF, and then
I think I already know where this is going, but I'm curious to hear it out.
Oh yeah. So then I was like, fine, I get the Kindle. I screenshot the entire Kindle. I'm a tech guy. Like, you're not going to defeat me. So I grabbed the Kindle. I screenshot the entire book. Okay. I dump it into a PDF file, and then OCR it using Acrobat's optical character recognition to give me a dump of text. I then dump the entire text of the book into a text file, and then proceed to upload it to 6 different AI detectors that will tell you how much of a work is written by a human and how much is written by AI as a percentage. And it does the best it can. So I put it against 6 because I really wanted to make sure that this was as accurate as the current tools are, which can be hit and miss, of course, right? Like, I would never accuse somebody, except in this particular instance, when all 6 of the AI detectors that they use in academia, like one of them is the one that my wife uses for papers at the college level, things like that. And it came back 100% written by AI, not 95, not AI edited this, but it was like literally 100% generated by prompts in AI. Okay.
Unfortunately, this is not like the sad thing. Unfortunately, this isn't surprising, and this is something that I worried about. Like as a fellow Gen Xer, like one of the things that I think about is like how lazy are people going to get? Like that was the first thing that crossed my mind. It's just how lazy are people going to get, and like so when I have to write. So for example, in the work that I do, sorry to cut you off, but there. So like if I have to generate like a serious occurrence report when something terrible has happened. We have been told from an administrative level that we can use AI as a start, but then we have to go in and we have to read it. We have to have a colleague read it. Then we have to go in and do all the editing and stuff like that. I won't even do that. Because first of all,
that's backwards. What you should do is type it yourself and then have AI tell you edits.
Exactly.
Go on.
I mean, because like first of all, a serious occurrence is never more than about 3 pages, and if I can't write a 3-page report, I should just retire now. But yeah, so like this is something that's very troubling, and like you said, your wife uses in academia. Friends of ours that are also in academia in Toronto, like one of them's at Ryerson University, for example, and he's a prof there. He's been for many years. We got together over the holidays, and over 20% of one of his graduate level classes, he failed their final papers because 20% of them used more than 90% AI to write their final papers.
Let me add a little caveat here before I have to run.
Okay.
So I have undertaken my fantasy book because I've resurrected it from like 10 years ago, and I wrote like several of the first chapters before anyone knew anything about AI, like 10 years ago, and I just haven't done anything with it since because I've been busy. But now I'm like, well, hey, I can use AI because that will be a lot faster than writing everything myself. So I think it should be fine. I mean, if you're doing it for like a school to get a grade, to get a thing, you're supposed to do this 100% yourself. Well, that's different because you're doing this to like get your graduation, and that's the point of it. But anyway, so I don't have a problem with using it. If like, I assume your problem with the guy who gave your thing is write a book about anti-Calvinism and why Calvinism is bad. Go, and like 100 pages later, you have a book. That's trash. But like me, so far, I'm aiming for like a 350 page fiction novel. No, not about religion, Michael, you jerk. About like
D&D, Dungeons and Dragons.
About like Dungeons and Dragons type stuff, yeah. But with a Christian flavor. Anyway, so I'm aiming for about 350 pages of an actual book. By the time I'm done dictating this, I will probably have 500 pages worth of me dictating to this thing exactly what to happen. I just prefer using my voice instead of my fingers, so it can, in real time, I don't have to say, like, I've written it, now go back and, correct my punctuation. I'm just like, hey, do this exactly this way, say exactly these things, the dialogue is exactly like this, so then it writes it with the correct punctuation and grammar the first time. And it's, cutting out all the likes and, but hey, and oh wait, not this, but do this, and then do this. So I'm going to have like 500 pages of me like dictating this entire thing, but it's technically going to be the one that's like, if I say, hey, make this, just like we talk about the Bible, right? If it's like, one version's like, this guy went to the supermarket, this guy walked to the supermarket, this guy ran to the supermarket. Well, the point is, the guy went to the supermarket. So I'm like, hey, this elf shoots an arrow through this orc's ear. And it's like, and then the readout is, and he skillfully aimed and shot the arrow, piercing the left ear. I'm like, perfect, that's fine. That's good. So
yeah, but nobody's going to okay, dictation, and I use dictation all the time. Dictation is in no way tantamount to having AI do something for you. Dictation is still your words, your thoughts.
Right.
Well,
you're
right,
not
but
telling you're not telling it like, here's a scenario, there's 6 orcs and they're going to fight like one guy.
I've got Chris talking about orcs. My day is complete.
Yeah, right. No, but you know what I'm saying? There's a difference between you talking about like in detail, like what is going to happen in the scene and the motivations of the characters, to, hey, there's 6 orcs fighting one guy, write me a scene, or write me 6 scenes and I'm going to pick the best
exactly
one I like.
Right. And
there's
so
a huge difference with that, right?
And by
right,
dictation, Michael, I mean, like I have like an open, like whatever it is, it's like I use the Google Voice, but it's like the open Word document, right? So it's the open thing, and I just verbal vomit onto the thing. So I basically that's my verbal vomit scratch pad. So yeah, I just described this like fighting scene. Stay tuned for a book. Like none of my religious stuff is gonna matter, but maybe my fantasy dragons and elves will. Anyways, askachristianpodcast.com. Send me a message. And we just lost someone. But yeah, it's like, so like I did a story Bible, right? So I worked with AI before I did it to get a story Bible. So like it has all the chapters and it has all the markers that we got to hit. So every new chapter, I'm like, okay, what's this say? What needs to happen here? And it's like, it like consults the story Bible. It's like 36 pages. And it's like, okay, in chapter 14, this needs to happen. I'm like, okay, great. So we've got this fighting scene. There's 6 bad guys and 4 good guys. They're outnumbered. And it's like, do you want me to write the scene? I'm like, no, I do not. I'm like, okay, you got 6 guys going. Like 2 of them hear a noise. 2 of them spread off. Like 2 of them do this. 1 person shoots a firebolt and the other person does this. So yeah, I like to describe it all on my big scratch pad. And then when I have like 2,000 words, I like copy and paste it to AI and say, edit this for grammar. And then whatever it spits out, I paste into my other actual document. That's everything I said, but it's formatted correctly with like paragraphs and capital letters and periods.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I think that's a perfectly reasonable use of AI.
I would totally agree with that, Michael. Like,
Yeah.
I think the council has spoken, like, Nate, like, that's going to be...
You've all earned yourself a pre, what do you call it when you, like a, not beta test, what is it for books? Like a preview, like before it's released, like to help make
a draft?
I guess. Is there something else? You've all earned yourself, but then if you say unkind things about my fantasy imagination, then...
Well, no, but again, like, what you've done, like... for example, if someone wrote a paper, like what Chris described, with people, like 90% of the, people, or 90% of the thing being AI, or 95% or something like that. If someone was to sit down and dictate a master's thesis, right? So let's just say 50 pages. Somebody dictates a master's thesis on blah blah land, right? So they wrote a master paper about blah blah land. It was all in their own words, and then they cut and pasted that into AI and said, please check for grammar and paragraph structure, and then it spit that out. I would go to the mattresses over somebody saying you used AI to write this, because I'd be like, no, they didn't use AI to write this. They used AI to proofread this, which is not the same thing.
Yes.
So I don't think I wouldn't think that you were shortcutting anything in any way. Like, it's like dictating it all. Like, if the story is coming from you, right? Then like in the horror movie, right? The call's coming from inside the house, right? It's not like that. That's not using AI for what I would see as nefarious is too harsh a term, but for
lazy.
Yeah, lazy or ill-gotten rewards, right? Wow, he wrote a great book, and you're sitting there knowing full well that OpenAI was actually the one that actually did this. That's not the same thing.
Well, Michael, it's good to see you. You guys keep talking as long as you want, but I'm gonna have to run. I have a headache.
Oh yeah, because I got to tell the other half of the story.
All right. See you
I got
later.
about 10 minutes before I got to go. So.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
good to see you.
You'll love this. So Michael, what I ended.
All right. I guarantee I'm going to hear a message in a little bit from Chris and be like, Michael's insufferable. We're talking about presuppositional apologetics. He doesn't understand. They're like, you were talking about like AI and Jarvis when I left. Let's see if it happens. All right. Please like, share, subscribe. Check out my Orc Goblin book whenever it's done. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next time. AskAChristianPodcast.com. AskAChristianPodcast.com.